All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in 3 categories: education, storyteller and drama, and arts. For 5 years and with over 280 weekly episodes and 64 million plus downloads, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals. It is based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age, race, ethnicity, or gender. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. We are all busy, but I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment and vote now. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all 3 of the categories: education, storyteller, drama, or art.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. How's everybody doing tonight? Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Um, how is everybody? Well, I'll tell you what. It's like still this heat. It's a heat wave, and it's like craziness here. Hey, Joe Fox. Good to see you, pal. Welcome to the crowd tonight. It's going to be a good show. Hey, Mr. Wojo, happy Tuesday to you, buddy. Thank you for stopping in. And I'll tell you how damn hot it is. Right now, I am looking at my thermometer, and it is 91 degrees out here already. And, I was thinking this heat for the last month and a half. And has anybody ever watched the movie, was it Predator? I think it was, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. And you know how when that movie was stationed, they were out in the jungles and it was extremely hot and miserable. Yeah, too effing hot. You ain't lying, Joe. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on out there in the world, but you know what? Or the universe, wherever it's at. But think about it, right? So, I watched that movie a lot of times, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That movie kind of like was hit spot on for all the heat or all the hot weather, because everybody was angry, man. Everybody was sweating. There was this predator hanging around in the woods that would cloak itself. And, and it just seemed like the predator was actually the heat. Yeah, I know I'm kind of confusing you guys tonight, but I watched the movie and I try to get a message out of movies that I watch, okay? And I found out with Predator, it isn't CO2 levels, though, despite what they force down our throats. True. True about that, Joe. You're going to have to come on Friday night at News on the Flip Side to discuss that, my friend, okay? This is this show can't do it, and that's okay. I appreciate you popping in, and I appreciate what you had to say. But I try to get a message out of the movies, and the message I got out of there was, for so freaking hot it was, and everybody's temperature going. I mean, I'm sure it's going to make people angry. It's going to be making people hate each other. Hey, Squats man, good to see you, sir. Welcome to the club. And so the that movie was just like, yeah, we're all hot, we're all angry, we're all mean, we're all disgusting, and I see it today. I see it at work, and not so much at work. I see it driving someplace, or if I'm at another place getting something to drink or something. There's a lot of people angry, a lot of people, a lot of people angry at each other, and no one's smiling no more, and that it's kind of like Joe Fox says that movie was my all-time favorite. That's cool, mine too, brother. Hey, River Rose, good to see you, hon. I hope the weather's okay down there in Texas, buddy. But everybody's mean, everybody's angry, and it's like, why can't people smile at each other? Why can't people say something nice about somebody? Okay, now you all know I work in the supermarket, and there's a ton of people that come in, and I think they just go in there to get out of the heat, and that's okay. So you go by the meat department and you're freezing your butt off, you know what I mean? Because it is cold, right? It is cold, and still people are angry. What's going on in the world today? I don't really want to get into the politics of things. There's a lot of things I could say, but with the crap that's happening in the world today and this weather, it just reminded me. It reminded me of that movie, The Predator. You know, I mean, are we going to act like this when it gets cold? Up here in Pittsburgh, we get a ton of snow. I mean, lately our winters have been mild up here, but I mean, there were times that we got a lot of snow and it was cold. You know, it's like you can't win or lose. It's like damned if you do and damned if you don't. And what can we do? Just live life? Do we want to walk around and miserable all the time? Do we want to walk around the earth just being angry at people for no reason at all? I mean, trust me. I mean, I'm angry at a lot of people. I get frustrated. I like the word frustrated better because I don't like the word angry, because I just don't like that. Or mad. I'm just frustrated with people. And you know what? I'm sure that they're frustrated with me, and I probably do something to tick people off too, you know. But still, the weather got to be better. Someone has to do something about it, and I'm not making fun of the Native Americans, but man, I tell you what, honestly, I wish they would have a rain dance where it would rain. You know what I mean, dudes? Seriously, I hope it would rain, or just calm it down, or like kind of cool it off a little bit, you know, and maybe, just maybe, okay, people won't be angry with each other, and people will not be snarling, and um, it, it's just a bad vibe everywhere, you know. I remember growing with Steve, Mr. Wojo, the word disappointed sticks out for me, not angry. Okay, that's a good one. Mr. Wojo says his word is disappointed. Yes, I could go with that word. There's a lot of adjectives that I could say that for it, but we don't need to be angry with each other. Maybe we can always dislike what other people do, but did you ever think of like what could happen, what's going on in that person's life that's making them feel like that? And people see somebody very angry, and mean, and being really snarly and all that crap. and you just don't know what happened that day to them. That's why if you can, like, if you see somebody snarling or angry or whatever, you know, just give them a smile. See, that's it. Just a smile. And if you say, well, how are you today? And if they don't answer you and they give you a shitty ass comment back, um, and then that's on them. But hey, Cindy Simpson, good to see you, honey. Michelle says the first rain in Oregon after summer is so amazing. Makes everything smell so good. Ah, one day I might go out there to Oregon. Me and Mr. Wojo, Richie B, and all the Bigfoot hunters will tag along out there, and then we'll go and check it out and see, if Oregon does have all that stuff. I know they got good gold mining out there, so that'd be another reason for me to go out there. But, ladies and gentlemen, please, please. Oh, Mr. Wojo says, why is it so hard to love, but so easy to hate? We need more love and smiles, for starters. That is true. And I'm going to repeat that question Mr. Wojo said. Why is it so hard to love, but so easy to hate? Are we programmed by what is being told to us to not accept love? Or were we programmed all our lives where we can't accept it because we actually don't know what love is? What is love? That's a good question. What is love? Love could be a lot of things, Love can be two people in marriage. Love can be, loving your parents or your children or whatever. Your dog. That's the love that we're programmed to have. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But the love that isn't programmed to us comes in in our heart. And somehow we have to somehow break out Wall Don and actually show it. Because if you show love, and then maybe you just get one person, maybe two, that would break their wall down and say, hey, you know what? This ain't bad. This is a good feeling. And that's another thing you come around. Okay, so finally we experience love, and all of a sudden, oh, so this is what it feels like. But then again, we can't really enjoy the moment. We can't enjoy the moment of being loved and blessed. We can't. Because we're always waiting for that other shoe to fall. We're always waiting for that other person to come around and stick a knife in our back and just take it away. Example, something good happens to you. And I'm not talking about winning, the Massachusetts lottery. But you win something or somebody does something nice for you and you're having a good day, you're having a good week, but you can't enjoy what you have because you're programmed to wait for the bad to happen. And so you can't enjoy what you have for today. Somehow, folks, we have to actually break that cycle now in order to make it happen. Mr. Wojo says we don't enjoy our lives to its fullest because we work too much, because we worry for our loved ones on putting food on the table, one of many examples. And that's true, Mr. Wojo. And, I'm going to put it up here and I'm going to read it again because he hit the nail right on the head. He says we don't enjoy our lives to its fullest because we work too much, because we worry for our loved ones on putting food on the table. And that's like one of the examples, you know what I mean? River says, my girl River, God bless her. I think so many have been conditioned to be skeptical and to be closed off in general. That goes when we meet people. But to keep an open mind and just be mindful, but kind and generous and gracious, that takes work. And you know what? That is so true. It takes a lot of work, a ton of work. Michelle Wilford said that's so true. Hey, Carrie Lynn, there's my buddy. Good to see you. I hope the weather's nice and cool up there where you're at. But she's right. It takes a lot of work. Now, granted, I'm in that. I am in the business to where I have to be nice to people, even when people, yell at me all the time. I'm in customer service. You know what I mean? So yes, it does take a lot of work. And yes, I stand there and with a smile on my face and get my ear chewed out because I cut the meat wrong, knowing that I cut it right. And I'm sure it's for everybody here in the chat room tonight. Same thing. You know you're doing something right, but someone has to be a jagoff, and that's the slang word here in Pittsburgh, jagoff. So if you ever hear that from me, that's a slang word. It's only Pittsburghese. It's nowhere else. But and they got to be really crappy with you. Cindy says, Sean, you need to reprogram yourself. Read the 4 Agreement books by Don Miguel Ruiz. And River says, I would never yell at you, Sean. I hope not. I know you guys wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. I wish I could reprogram myself, Cindy, but, maybe that time will happen when I retire or something. But right now, I'm safe where I'm at. I'm in that safe space. But I can actually make a person smile. And I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, and then I'm going to go on with some other stuff I have to say. And River, I would never yell at you either. And I wouldn't yell at hardly nobody. I just might think some things in my head, but think it about it with a smile on my face. But back to what I'm talking about. So I used to work for the post office here in Pittsburgh, and I was a window clerk. Okay. And when we stood at, you could actually see the parking lot. And I'm telling you what, this lady came out of her car and she was ready for a fight. Seriously waiting for a fight. She wanted to yell and scream. She was ready. And she comes in, I'm saying, dear God, please don't let her come to my line. Don't let her come to my line. And what happens? She comes to my line, right? And before she could even say a word, I said, did you get your hair cut done today? That looks very nice. And that's all it took. Because her demeanor, her attitude changed. It just changed like that. So if you can be nice to somebody, do it. It won't kill you. And we have Carrie Lynn says, we have no idea what someone else is going through. True. Not taking others' words or actions personally takes mindful practice. Mr. Tim Vogel, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the show, my friend. But let's all be happy and smile and treat everybody with respect, even though they're not going to accept it. And the people who do accept it, God bless them, because that's how it works. If I can go out and out of 100 people and I can make 2 people happy, I've done my job. And that's not just me, it's everybody in here. That's everybody listening to the show. Okay? If we can go out and make 2 people happy, then those 2 people that we made happy, then they can go and tell 100 people and make them happy. And that's how it works. We just need to get out of this rut. I'm not just talking me, I'm talking everybody that's going through this rut. Carrie Lynn will tell you too that there's something out there in that universe right now. I do believe Mercury's in retrograde, if I'm not sure. But that's kind of like messing with people's minds too. You know what I mean? It's kind of messing with it. But you know what? We are coming up at the 8:30 mark. Please stick around for the next, 40. We'll only go 70 seconds. Oh, no, we got to go a minute 10. But I will see 5 planets are in retrograde. Holy crap. That's not good. But I will see you guys back in 1 minute and 10. Please stick around. Please. All right, let's get this on the show on the road here. To our breaks. All right, here it is.
News on the flip side. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The News on the Flip Side, in the category of politics and news. News on the Flip Side is a much different news and political program, which is not deemed as opinion news. Listen as anchor host Joe Montaldo brings you just the facts from trusted sources, which will allow you, the people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate The News on the Flip Side in the category of news and politics. That's podcastawards.com. Please take a moment and vote now.
Hey, welcome back to the second half part of my show, Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly. There's a couple things I forgot to say at the beginning. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And I also want to thank Carnation for sponsoring the hour of my show so I can bring it to you on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. Carrie Lynn, she is a host here on Friday nights. I do believe 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And, Lord, I forgot what it's called. Spirit Switchboard, that's what it is. So, if you're not doing it on a Friday night, feel free to come in on this platform and listen to Carrie Lynn. She has some really cool guests and stuff like that. Hey, Joseph, how are you, sir? Welcome. So we wrapped up, the first half real quick. We got to love each other. Something going on in the air, and it's making people miserable. But you know what? If we spread a little love for everybody and show love to a lot of people, then you know what? It will get out there. So I was also thinking before the show too, we just had the Olympics. Okay. And, these guys and ladies train year in, year out to be in the Olympics. Carrie Lynn says, thanks for the shout out, Sean. Wojo and Richie B will be on this Friday. Squatchy Talk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys got to check our show out, Mr. Wojo and Richie B. My friends from Massachusetts. Yes, sir. And they're good Bigfoot hunters. But, we just had the Olympics on for the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And how these people train day in, day out, year in, year out. And I was thinking, how about us? How about us? I think we're all Olympians. Now you're saying, Sean, you lost your mind. Or Sean, you're crazy thinking. And I'm not. What we have to do when we have to wake up, get ready, go to work, go to work and then come home and then we got to cook the dinner, go food shopping, do what we have to do every day. And sometimes, we don't get medals. Some days, people just don't care what we do. And then there's some days that, yeah, maybe I will get that medal. Or a thank you. Do you know how great a thank you is? Seriously, do you know how great it is? I mean, I'm telling you, thank you is really good. But you know what? We're all Olympians, hon. Ha ha ha! Steve, Mr. Wojo, Sean, are you going in a Speedo doing Olympic swimming? Ha ha! Oh my God, let's throw the Clorox bleach into everybody's eyes right now. You know what I mean? Oh no, that would be terrible. That would be terrible. But I think we're all Olympians. And we train. Yeah, bah ha ha. Yeah, just like whenever I watch the New England Patriots coming on this year, I'm gonna, gonna have to put my blinders on. But yeah, but we all are, because we do what we have to do to stay alive, and doing the things that we do. He's dying. Carrie Lynn, Mr. Wojo's dying, buddy. You got to do something for him. I'm telling you, Carrie Lynn, you got to save my man. High intention, low attachment, no expectations. Thank you, dear. Thank you. But we're all winners, and we all in our own separate Olympics. Don't ever beat yourself up. Never. You're a winner. Every one of y'all in my room. Every single person that is watching or listening to this show tonight, right now, overseas, in 200 different countries. You guys are all winners. In my eyes, you're all winners. And no one at all can ever tell me anything different. So it's like, just continue doing what you're doing. It's nice to get praised every now and then, okay? And it's nice to, people tell you that you're doing a good job. Whatever you're doing, it's nice. But accept what they're saying. And then deep down inside, you know that you're doing right. And that's what I think we all are as Olympians. Olympians. I was watching some of that little young girl from China. Yeah, that diver. God, is she a cutie? Winning all those stuffed toy animals. But then again, they showed her getting off the plane in China. And people just would not leave her alone. And she was getting crowded. She didn't want to be part of that. And people were just like pushing her, grabbing her, turning around so they could take a photo with her. And you could see in the young girl's eyes that she was going nuts. She was going crazy. She was scared. She was 14 years old, and she was scared. I don't know what it's like to live over there. I don't know what it's like to be a celebrity over in China. But I felt bad for the little girl because they wouldn't leave her alone. I know that she put China on the map again. For her dives were great. I mean, my God, 14 and she's doing these dives that I could only do in my dreams. And I know in my dream I land up with a busted back or something like that. I'll probably get a gold medal on cannonballs. That's what I do. And I don't know. But back to us, we are. We're all Olympians. Now, I haven't talked about this in a long time. And it's getting up on that season. And well, gold and belly flopping. There you go. Oh my God. You guys are going to have to call out every freaking lifeguard to pull my butt out. I'd be like, I'm like Shamu and stuff, man. I'd be like Shamu. And y'all think I'm beating myself up? I'm not, because, big is the next sexy. So just want you to know that. Big is the next sexy. Um, but it's coming up on Halloween, and I know this is kind of early, but I want to get your thoughts. Well, it's not kind of early. My God, it's about a month and a half. October, about a month and a half away. And the leaves will change. And then all these pumpkins will, you got your pumpkin patches. And then you get your damn pumpkin spice teas, your pumpkin spice freaking coffees, your pumpkin spice, whatever you want, a pumpkin spice. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not like pumpkin spice nothing. It's gross. That's my opinion. Carrie Lynn says it's always spooky season. Yeah, true, but you know what, Carrie Lynn, I'm telling you, it is always spooky season, but you got to realize that when it comes October, it jumps it up a couple levels. Cassie, hi Cassie, it's a wonderful time of the year. Thank you, dear. It sure is. I'd rather have like 6 Halloween holidays than one or two like a Christmas or a New Year's or never take St. Patrick's Day away. That will never happen. Carrie Lynn says, pumpkin muffins, num num num. Yeah, I don't think so. No, it's pumpkin, so it's going to taste nasty. So that's so we could debate that later on, on your show, Carrie Lynn, about how nasty pumpkin spice stuff is. But so I'm all set for Halloween. I'm going to have a lot of people on my shows this week in the month of October. I'll probably start maybe in like the first couple of the weeks in September too. Because what I think to me Halloween is all about is you can be whoever you want to be. You can be whoever you want to be. Let me see. Here we go. River says, my son just wants pumpkin pie. Good man. I can deal with that. Yeah, but you got to put a can of Cool Whip on it. He was always asking when it's time for pumpkin pie. True. It's true. But with me, you got to at least get like a Ready Whip or something like that for me and put like a half a can of that on top of my pumpkin pie. Cindy Simpson says, Sean, your Halloween shows were amazing last year. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. And I'm going to try to outdo myself from last year. I'm just going to see how it goes again. Diane Brighton says, true. And that, you could be whoever you want to be. And isn't that great? And Tim Vogel says, my favorite season. So, I mean, Halloween, October, like, you could be whoever you want to be. And then, you have an excuse why you want to do it. If anybody says, well, why are you dressing up like a vampire? Why are you doing this acting like Frankenstein? Why do you have all these creepy crawlers over your house? Because it sets the mood. It kind of like, to me, makes people feel different. But, oh my, Mr. Wojo. Oh my God, Mr. Wojo is going to dress up as me, Sean Kelly. You better find a beard, buddy. That'd be cool. Take a picture, Steve. I need to hear that stuff. That would be pretty cool. Cindy, did you hear that? Mr. Wojo's going to dress up as me. Carrie Lynn, that would be funny. I'd love to see that happen. But Halloween, you can be you, whoever you want to be. Act like how you want to act. And they say Halloween's for children. I don't believe that. I think Halloween is for everybody. Carrie Lynn says, Stephen Wojo, gold prospector. There you go. I would do that on her show. You would, wouldn't you? Well, that means I'm going to have to watch her show if you do that. You have to remind me that. And you can dress up as a vampire all you want in October. Because you're you. You can dress up as vampire, like not Dracula, I'm sorry, Frankenstein. Or the Mummy. The best Halloween movies out there are the old movies. The old Bela Lugosi's, the old Lon Chaney movies are the best. Cindy Simpson says, awesome. I'll enjoy that. Hopefully we can see photos of him. I'll see what I can do. We'll see what Mr. Wozo could do. That would be funny. But Halloween movies are great. You get tired of the slashers. Cassie says, yes, the OG movies. And they are OG movies. And even the Wolfman. Oh, my God. And they're so short. And they're not long at all. You get your popcorn, you get your iced tea unsweetened, or your coffee, whatever you drink, sit there and just watch them and watch them and watch them. I like the Dracula movies. The one that Vincent Price was in, Nowadays you see, the vampire movies or the gory movies where, the boobs are hanging out. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm not complaining. But what I'm saying is it just doesn't give it that feel. It doesn't. In the movies. But if it's something that you want to do, if you want to dress like a sexy vampire, sexy witch, whatever, do it. And have fun. Have fun doing it. I'm telling you. Life will be great. And then you got Thanksgiving coming up. You eat a lot of turkey, watch a lot of football. But may I make a suggestion, everybody? Whenever the New England Patriots are on TV, just got to turn it on to another game. It's that simple. If you seriously need to watch a Dallas Cowboy game, then watch a Dallas Cowboy game. But whenever you see the Patriots, I don't know, no more Tom Brady. They'll all be wailing in their stands. They'll be all wailing in their beer, like, oh, I miss Tom Brady. Carrie Lynn says, Stephen Wojo, you can show up on the show dressed as Sean anytime. And Steve says, bet them to win. But Carrie Lynn said, Mr. Wojo, you can show up on the show dressed as Sean anytime. Oh my goodness, what am I going to have to do? Steve, I'm going to have to get into my photos there, dude, and send you a couple pictures. He says, don't provoke me. That's great. That's great. But Thanksgiving, you watch football, eat turkey. Your family comes over, you sit around, say grace. And do you know what the greatest thing about Thanksgiving is for me? Is giving thanks to everything that has happened in your life. Yes, gratitudes. What I'm grateful for. And that's what I enjoy about Thanksgiving. Is the gratitude. unless you're a meat cutter like me and you got to deal with thousands and thousands and thousands of turkeys a year. I mean, during that time, it's not fun. But it's a good time. It's a good time. Now, not for everybody. Sometimes it's a sad time. My dad died November 3rd, 1986. And Thanksgivings have never been the same. But we moved on from that and everything's cool, you know. But, you know, waking up and smelling that turkey, you know, Thursday morning, your mom or your wife or your daughter or your son or your dad cooking it, man. You know what I mean? My goodness. And then the pumpkin pie. Okay, we'll go with it. But my aunt used to make chocolate cream pie. That was good too. And then we'd watch football. But just being together and being thankful for that moment, that one day out of the year. And you know, you know, you can always volunteer and help somebody at a shelter or something like that to pass out turkey dinners and help. You know, I've done that a couple times, and it's such a reward giving to people who need it. Absolutely, it's a reward. And you might not think that you're getting a reward, but I'm telling you what, the big man upstairs knows that you're doing something good. And like my mom always told me, and like she even tells me today, whenever you do something good, and when you die and you go up and see the big dude, okay, he's going to put a check mark next to it, all of the check marks that you have done. And the more check marks that you got, the more you'll get into the gates. And I truly believe that, you know. And then there's Christmas. Might as well get that one out of the way. Mr. Wojo says, being with family and friends is great remedy for love and joy. I hope. It is. It is, Mr. Wojo. It really is. Now, for some families, it isn't. But I pray that the families that are having problems, I'll pray for them families. And hopefully they can get together, you know. But then there's Christmas. And to me, I'm at the ripe old age of 62. Okay. True, Diane Brighton says, true, giving freely from the heart. Yes. And I'm at the age where I don't really expect anything. I kind of feel guilty. Please tell me, anybody in the room tonight, please tell me if I'm wrong here. But I kind of feel guilty when I get something. You know, sure, my son, he'll get me like, my God, I have like 7 or 8 Carhartt jackets for the wintertime because he gets me one every year. Excuse me. And then he gives me like gift cards so I can go out to eat. But you know, watching the little kids opening up their presents on Christmas morning or the night of Christmas, whatever. My goodness, what a sight! And sometimes it is so nice to see that. It's so nice to feel that every anger issue you had for that whole year just goes away. And if it took for a 4-year-old to open up his presents on Christmas morning, then it was meant to happen. Cassie says, yes, my love language is gifting, but I am awkward as hell when I get something. My children are the magic. Thank you for sharing that, Cassie. Now, my son, you know, he's 33 years old. He'll be 34. Oh my God, I'm getting old. But he's going to turn 34. And whenever he comes home for Christmas, that's the biggest Christmas present for me. and that he can actually spend time with his grandma, my mom. To me, that's like the real um, joy of Christmas. I remember a couple of years ago, he came up and he had to go home because he caught COVID. He had to go home. And it was the saddest day of my life. It was the saddest day for my mom. And I felt really bad for my mom, you know. But we had a Zoom call Christmas morning and everything seemed to work out right. But he always makes sure he comes up to see his grandma and sees me. River Rose says, I love giving gifts throughout the year. People think I am weird. Now, who would think you're weird, River? There's something wrong with their minds. They think you're weird. It's okay to give gifts all throughout the year. It really is. Cindy says, I have home videos I watch of my children when they were little, opening up the gifts. I love watching all the holidays on video. And doesn't it, Cindy, River, Cass, doesn't it just give you a great feeling to watch those in like June, July, and August or whenever? Doesn't that just like touch your heart? It would touch mine, you know. And it's okay to do that. It really is. So I don't know what's going to happen this Christmas. Hopefully my son will come in, you know, and we can go from there. I hope my son brings his partner with him so we can meet him, you know. Cindy says, yes, it really does. It takes me back in time. Yeah. But we're looking forward to meeting my son's partner. And I'm so happy for him. Because he's like, you know, he has somebody. And that's cool. I have all you guys. Carrie Lynn says, my granddaughter is a joy. Little ones make the holidays magical. Michelle says, I have a rift in my family. I see my brother for Thanksgiving and Christmas with oldest son. At least you're with family, Michelle. You know, at least you're with family. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm here. Seriously. If you need to talk to somebody, you know, just leave me a message at the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page, and we can talk. We can chat. Okay? We can do that. It's okay to share stuff. Mr. Wojo says, I gave a gift to Bigfoot and he ate it. Yes, he did. I was grateful that there was no crumbs and they liked the wrapper. The gift that keeps on giving. Look, the wrapper. Cassie says, you're the best, Sean. Thank you. Thank you, Cass. I appreciate it. And so are you. So is Stephen. So is Michelle. So is Cindy. So is Gary. And all the other ones who have posted in my chat room tonight. And Cindy says, I'm so happy to know you are always there for me, Sean. And I am. And I'm happy that you're there for me too. Cindy, I am. That's why I love you people, man. If it wasn't for you guys at all, I wouldn't have a show. I wouldn't be here. Every one of y'all keep me going. And it's getting close to the closing time, you know, the witching hour, like Jenny Nicolasia said. But I'll tell you what, next week, next Tuesday, I am going to have my cousin on, Jake. And he is an inspiring writer. He also works behind the scenes of a major TV show that's on TV. He has produced his own movies. I do believe he was working at the Cannes Festival, and I'm really looking forward to hearing his story. He is a good person. His family too. But I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. I want to thank everybody who shared in the chat room. And I want to thank everybody out there in the 200 different countries that are listening to the show tonight. Thank you for listening. It's not the end of the world. And when we wake up tomorrow, just say, you look up in the sky and say, you know what? Help me stay alive today. And then everything will be good. Stephen says, thank you for the laughs. Great ending. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Okay? Seriously. And if you don't have no family, no children, no mom or dad, find somebody and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, good night, everybody. Enjoy your week. And I will definitely see you Sunday night.